Hi guys, my name is Tony. I'm an addict and an alcoholic, or as I like to refer to myself, chemically dependent. I wanted to make a short video today on the subject of the Serenity Prayer, how I first came to discover it, how I use it in my day-to-day life, and some other thoughts of mine on it. I first discovered the Serenity Prayer probably in 2008 or 2009 roughly. And for those of you who don't know what it is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Before I got in all my trouble, before I was ever trying to get sober, I worked in an assisted living facility here in the city I live in. And I was setting placemats in one of the dining rooms. I worked in the kitchen. And a lot of the placemats had decorative print on them, or some of them had little sayings and stuff like that. But I remember coming across this one that had the Serenity Prayer on it, and I read it and just was in awe. I thought, holy shit, that was deep. That was an awesome thought to have. And I took a picture of it on my smartphone, saved it, didn't think much of it after that. And fast forward, I got in legal trouble. I was admitted into an outpatient program, and this quote came about again. It was apparently an influential quote in the 12-step program, and I heard it again. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And this is a quote, or a prayer, I guess, that you'll say, that people recite in the beginning of a lot of different meetings. And when I was in outpatient treatment, we would always recite this prayer / quote before we got into our scheduled treatment type stuff. But we later discussed it in more depth, and it was a really big eye-opener for me. To think that your higher power, like I said, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a white bearded guy who walks on water. It can be anything you want it to be. That something greater than yourself could help you start to believe that you shouldn't sweat the small stuff. You should try and change the things that you can, and have the ability to know what the difference between those two is. And that's awesome. There are so many things that are out of my control that I would constantly worry about and get into these anxiety attacks almost, and just continually worry about something I can't control. And there's no point. I can't control what the weather's going to be like, but I would sit there all day worrying about, I hope it doesn't rain, or I hope it doesn't get too hot, or something like that. I don't know. But that's not something I can control, so I shouldn't worry about that. That's the wisdom to know the difference, what I can control and what I can't control. A good example of something that I could control is I hope that I don't get fired from work for being lazy. Well, I could probably work a lot harder and be more responsible and take on more tasks at work. That's a way of changing something, knowing there's something that I can change and there's something I can do about it. Whether or not I get fired, that's out of my control. So long as I'm doing all the things I know I have to do, I'm doing the next right thing. And that's able to be applied in more than just drinking for me. That's something I can apply to anything in life. I can change the things I know I can change, that I can actually have an influence on. I can not worry about the stuff that I can't control, and I can know the difference between those two types of situations. And that's awesome for me. You guys can feel free to share your comments, thoughts upon it. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment or question below, and I will try to get back to them as quick as I can. Thanks, guys.